September 2008. A small rocket sits silently on a remote island in the Pacific Ocean. To most people, it's just another launch. But for the handful of engineers watching nervously from mission control, it's something far more important. If this rocket fails, SpaceX is finished. No more launches, no more dreams of reaching Mars, no more Elon Musk space company. The bank account is nearly empty. Investors have lost confidence. 3 rockets have already exploded. And after years of failures, ridicule, and millions of dollars burned, this launch is their final chance. What happens next will change the future of space travel forever. But to understand how close SpaceX came to death, we need to go back to the beginning. In 2002, Elon Musk had just made hundreds of millions of dollars from selling PayPal. Most wealthy entrepreneurs buy mansions, some buy yachts. Musk decided to build rockets, and almost everyone thought he was insane. The space industry was controlled by giant corporations, companies with decades of experience, and billions of dollars in government contracts. A startup competing against them seemed impossible. Experts laughed. Journalists mocked the idea. Veteran aerospace engineers said it couldn't be done. But Musk believed rockets were simply too expensive. If humanity was ever going to become a multi-planet species, launch costs had to come down dramatically. So he founded SpaceX. There was just one problem. They had no rocket, no launch site, no proven technology, and very few people believed they would survive. Yet somehow, a small team of ambitious engineers was about to challenge an industry worth billions. And things were about to get much worse. After years of work, SpaceX finally prepared its first rocket, the Falcon 1. A relatively small rocket designed to prove the company could actually reach orbit. On March 24, 2006, it launched. Excitement filled the control room for less than a minute. Then, disaster struck. A fuel leak triggered a fire. The rocket lost control and crashed into the ocean. Years of work vanished in seconds. Most startups would have struggled to recover. But SpaceX pushed forward. The team believed the next launch would succeed. They were wrong. In 2007, Falcon 1 launched again. This time, things looked better. The rocket climbed higher. The team started feeling hopeful. Then another problem appeared. The second stage began spinning uncontrollably. Mission lost. Another explosion. Another failure. Another mountain of money gone. The media started calling SpaceX a joke. Competitors quietly predicted bankruptcy. Even supporters began losing confidence. But the worst failure was still ahead, and this one nearly destroyed everything. August 2008, launch number 3. The pressure was unbearable. SpaceX desperately needed a success. Instead, they got a catastrophe. The first stage separated. Everything looked perfect. Then the stages collided. The rocket spun out of control. Mission failure. Again. 3 launches. 3 disasters. By now, SpaceX was running out of money. Fast. Elon Musk was personally funding much of the company. At the same time, the global financial crisis was crushing businesses around the world. His other company, Tesla, was also struggling. Both companies were burning cash. Both were nearing collapse. And Musk later admitted that bankruptcy was becoming a real possibility. SpaceX had enough money left for only one more launch. One final attempt, one last chance. If Falcon 1 failed again, SpaceX would die September 28, 2008. The 4th Falcon 1 stood on the launch pad. Everything depended on this moment. Employees knew it. Investors knew it. Musk knew it. Years of sacrifice had come down to a single rocket. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The rocket climbed. Higher, higher. Stage separation. Success. The second stage ignited. The team held their breath. Minutes passed. Then confirmation arrived. Falcon 1 had reached orbit. For the first time in history, a privately developed liquid-fueled rocket had successfully reached orbit. The control room erupted. People screamed. People cried. Some collapsed in relief. Against all odds, SpaceX had survived, but survival wasn't guaranteed yet. The company still needed money. and fast. Just weeks after the successful launch, something incredible happened. NASA awarded SpaceX a contract worth more than $1 billion. Suddenly, the company had a future. The bankruptcy fears faded. New opportunities appeared. The tiny startup that everyone mocked was now being taken seriously. That contract became the lifeline SpaceX desperately needed, and it paved the way for everything that followed. Falcon 9, Dragon spacecraft, reusable rockets, and eventually, Starship. Today, SpaceX launches rockets so routinely that it's easy to forget how fragile the company once was. But in 2008, the future of SpaceX depended on a single launch. One rocket, one chance. One moment that separated history from failure. If Falcon 1 had exploded that day, the modern space industry might look completely different. No reusable rockets, no commercial crew missions, no Starlink, perhaps no serious plans to send humans to Mars. The world's most successful private space company was once just weeks away from disappearing forever. And that's what makes SpaceX's darkest days so remarkable. Not because they succeeded, but because they kept going after every reason to quit. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more incredible technology and business documentaries. Because sometimes the companies that change the world come closest to losing everything.